Good afternoon, everyone. This video is going to be a video to kind of demonstrate how to manage an X2 trade. I'm going to try to get into kind of a bad trade here so I can do it. So let me go ahead and enter a trade, and then we'll talk about this window that I'm showing you a little bit. So I just went long, and as you can see, I went long above at the guide band kind of an area. So I'm actually hoping that it pulls back and gets me into the second unit. So let's just go through this window a little bit. So I have wide bracket set, and I have a really big profit target set at 2 points, just so I can maybe get into a trade. So here's my profit limit, and here's my stop. So the first thing I'm going to do, my average, this one unit is 39. I'm going to try to get into my second unit at 37. So there's my second unit that I've entered, and what I'm going to do now is pull my stops down. So again, I would normally be trying to enter in a strategic kind of position, and so my stops I would feel comfortable with. This is an arbitrary entry point. I'm actually hoping that the market goes with me, so you can see how I'm going to manage this trade. Now, the other thing is important to know is that prior to starting this position, my realized P&L was $100, so I was up 2 points. Okay, and that's an important number, and you should write that down. So here's if I should get filled here in just a minute. So there I'm filled at 37. So I'm actually going to enter in my next one at 35. And so now that I'm in 2 units, right, I want to set my profit targets and my exit points. So there's my first exit point, right, at $75. My second unit, I'm going to get out at $100. You can do this any way you want to. This is just kind of the way I like to do it. So on an X2, I would enter getting out the first unit at 100, or at 75, the second unit at 100, and so I would end up with a 2 point profit. Now let's come down and manage our stops. So here is our collective stop. I've got them positioned together, right? And when you see this page, right, it means I can move them together. If I do here, I can move them individually. But I'm always, for the active trades I'm in, I'm always going to move them together, right? So that I can move them with one swoop, and I'll just arbitrarily bring them down. Okay, I would, in theory, I would be entering at a comfortable spot that I would be willing to do it. As you can see, right, my stop is down here at this point, down below yesterday's low. As you can see, I'm starting to hit the first exit, not out yet. So we'll see if I get out of one. Remember now, take a look at the realized P&L. All right, so I'm out of one. See, the realized P&L right now is 87.50, where I started out at 100, right? And so I want to get 2 points. This is an X2 trade. I want to get about 2 points on this trade. So if I get out of this right at 100, right, and then my total realized P&L will change to 187.50. Remember, I started at 100, and now when it gets out, it would change to 187.50. Now, if it was an X3, then we'd have to do a little bit more math, because what you want to do is you're from your starting point to your exit point, right? You want your profit to equal about 2 points, or whatever you're going for. So for instance, if you're an X3 or maybe an X4, when you get out of the first unit, your realized P&L, and kind of like this one did, but it could be more, could be less, and it will be less than your starting realized P&L, right? But you recover that realized P&L as you continue to get out of the trade. So this would be, this was my third unit, right? And you can, just kind of start to manage this thing as you go away. You could go ahead on your third unit and collect your stops, right? You probably, your exit point is probably going to be higher, so you can just go ahead and move that to get it out of the way, right? And just in case the market does come down and get you into X3 and it's starting to hit your second entrance. Okay, so now you're out of the trade, right? So the first thing you'd want to do is come down and do a cancel all, right? So now your P&L position is flat, and you also have no orders in the market. Now, so then come back over here, look at your realized P&L, and it was 100, and now it's 187.50, right? So that was a typical successful X2, right? We had a 2 unit position, and we got out for roughly a 2 point profit. Okay, and we started out with 2 point profit. We ended up with about a 2 point profit on X2s. I just usually require it to give me a total of 7 ticks worth of profit. So I wasn't even trying to make money on that trade. I was trying to get into a little bit of a fight, and I did get into a small fight, and we can do that. So, that one wasn't very hard. Maybe I'll try to find a market that's moving a little bit faster, and maybe I can get into an X3 trade. But at least that is an example of managing the dome on an X2. What's important to look at on the total realized P&L, and managing your exit points to get to your profit. An X3 would be a better example, or even a widely spaced X2 might do it as well, so that you can manage your exit points, right, to get your final result that you're looking for in out of the trade. So let's put this video on the website, let it develop some questions, and maybe in a subsequent video I can answer those questions, and we can go from there. All right, so I'll get this posted.